November 2025 is not the month for the faint of heart. The stakes are high this month. Energies are cranking up the intensity, pushing us towards our passions, whether you feel ready for it or not. While some of you will forge the deepest, most profound connection of your life, discovering a level of intimacy that you've only dreamed. Others are about to face shocking power struggles and confrontations. This is Scorpio season after all. The energy is polarizing. It's creation versus destruction. It's love versus war. So in this forecast, I'm going to break down exactly what's going on day to day so you can navigate this cosmic storm. The question is, will this month make you or break you? So let's find out. Just a quick note before I jump in. This is the Darling Aura channel and I am Clarissa. Welcome. Thank you for joining me, and if you'd like to be connected to future videos, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. If this forecast resonates with you and you want to understand how these energies will affect your personal astrological chart, I do offer one-to-one readings. The link to book is waiting for you in the description below. Because knowing your unique astrological blueprint is the best way to handle a month as pivotal as this one. So let's get into it. To really get the magnitude of November, we need to look at the planetary movements creating all this drama. The complex dance, a story told in astrological geometry, and it gets going right from the start. The stage was actually set in the final days of October as Venus, the planet of love and harmony, glided through the home of Libra. This is a transit that lasts till the 6th of November. It's a beautiful window for love and luck for many. But don't get too comfortable. This harmony is the quiet before the storm. The first jolt arrives on the 2nd of November when Venus in Libra forms a tense square to Jupiter in Cancer. A square is all about the friction that forces us to grow. Here the desire is for fair, balanced relationships, and this will clash with the deep need for emotional security. You might feel torn between what feels right and what feels safe. Maybe social events are pulling you away from home, or family demands are feeling draining. There's a risk of wanting to just check out and avoid responsibility. This isn't a day for major decisions, it's a day where the first cracks might start to appear, showing you where the balance of giving and taking is quite off. Then just as quickly, the energy shifts from tension to pure magnetism. On the 3rd of November, Mars in Scorpio, the planet of action and desire, in the sign of power and transformation, forms a gorgeous trine with Neptune in Pisces. This is the very definition of magnetic passion. It blends raw physical desire with a possessive nature with dreamy spiritual vibes. It's an energy of seduction and effortless charm, where your intuition is razor sharp and your allure is off the charts. It softens Mars' aggressive side, turning it into a potent, most magical charisma. The only danger is getting lost in its fantasy. And then it begins, because the 4th of November delivers one of the most volatile transits of the month. First, Mars, our warrior planet, charges out of intense Scorpio and into adventurous Sagittarius. Our collective vibe shifts from strategy to action. We want freedom, new experiences, and we're ready to fight for our beliefs. But immediately, Mars forms a direct opposition with Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of rebellion in the sign communication and siblings, and is explosive. Think of it as a sudden eruption of every frustration you've ever been swallowing. The desire for freedom, Mars in Sagittarius, clashes with the shocking news of disruptive ideas, Uranus in Gemini. Patience here is non-existent, and tempers can flare with zero warning. This is the explosive anger of the month in its purest form. It's a call to make change, but if you're not careful, it can lead to reckless actions and arguments that burn bridges for good. The universe then offers a moment of grounding and illumination. On the 5th of November, we have the full moon in the stable, earthy sign of Taurus. A full moon brings things to climax, and in Taurus, the focus is on our value, security, and self-worth. And after all the chaos, this is a chance to reconnect with the tangible world and ask, what truly makes me feel secure, and what truly makes me feel valued? It's a really powerful time to release the scarcity mindset and anchor into the sense of stability. As the dust settles, things get more interesting. On the 6th of November, Mars in Sagittarius gets a supportive wink from Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, in Aquarius, the sign of social consciousness and rebellion, giving us the endurance to channel that fire into long-term transformation. On the same day, Venus, the planet of love, leaves diplomatic Libra and dives into the deep, mysterious waters of Scorpio. This is a major shift. Venus in Scorpio isn't here for small talk. It craves deep loyalty and soul-bearing intimacy. This transit drags at our emotional bonds and our desire for real transformative relationships. The magnetic passion is back, but this time it's more intense, more private, and carries the weight of shared secrets. But this new depth is immediately put to test because on the 7th of November, the next day, Venus in Scorpio forms a harsh square to Pluto and Aquarius. This is where Venus's magnetic passion collides with Pluto's explosive power, and it creates power dynamics. It's a classic transit for jealousy and obsessive attachments, especially in relationships. It brings underlying issues of control and manipulation right to the surface. Just as you are invited to go deeper, you're confronted with shadow side of intimacy. On the same day, Uranus, planet of rebellion, stations retrograde and re-enters the sign of Taurus, where it will stay for its final pass. Uranus retrograde is a time for internal review, and in Taurus, it asks us to completely reassess our relationship with money, security, and freedom. On the 7th of November, it is a day for confronting power dynamics and breaking free from situations, be it love or money, especially if they don't feel authentic. And if that wasn't enough, on the 9th of November, Mercury, the planet of communication, goes retrograde in Sagittarius, kicking off the final retrograde of 2025, which lasts until the 29th of November. In Sagittarius, this retrograde makes it easy to overlook important details because you're focused on the big picture. It's famous for foot-in-mouth moments where your optimistic words can come out as blunt and tactless. Travel plans can go haywire, and get ready for misunderstandings about personal beliefs. On the 11th of November, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, also stations retrograde in Cancer. When the great benefactor planet goes backwards, our faith and enthusiasm take a hit. It's time to turn inwards and reassess our goals, especially around home, family, and emotional security. Growth might feel like it's slowing down, but it's a necessary pause to make sure that we are building a solid foundation. The plot thickens around the 13th of November when retrograde Mercury and Mars meet in Sagittarius. This can give us a quick, decisive mind, but also amps up the potential for impulsiveness and confrontational arguments. On the 18th of November, Mercury retrogrades back into Scorpio. The communication chaos shifts from blunt and philosophical to intense and secretive. This can lead to some serious mental detective work, but also power struggles in communication. Secrets might come out, and every chat could feel like an investigation. The energetic peak arrives on the 19th of November with the new moon in Scorpio. And in Scorpio, these new beginnings are about profound transformation and rebirth and reclaiming your power. This isn't a light and fluffy lunar moon. In Scorpio, and tightly aligning with the Mercury retrograde and opposing Uranus, it brings shocking elements of liberation. However, it's also beautifully supported by Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter, giving us the strength to make long-lasting changes. This is your moment to set powerful intentions around intimacy, shared finance, and personal renewal. As we head towards the end of the month, the energy starts to lighten up. On the 21st of November, the Sun leaves intense Scorpio and enters optimistic Sagittarius, officially kicking off the Sagittarius season. On the 25th of November, Mercury and Venus conjoin in Scorpio, making a beautiful time for heart-to-heart conversations. Finally, real forward momentum returns on the 27th of November as Saturn, the planet of discipline, stations direct in Pisces, ending its long retrograde. It's time to put the spiritual and emotional lessons we've learned into practice. And on the 29th of November, Mercury stations direct in Scorpio, ending its chaotic spin. Misunderstandings can finally be cleared up. The month closes on the 30th of November as Venus follows the Sun into Sagittarius, shifting our emotions into romantic focus towards freedom, fun, and shared adventure. So you see, this month is a journey. It's a story of conflict and connection, of breaking down and breaking through. Now let's see what this means in each of your ascendant signs. Let's start with Aries ascendant. For you, the heart of November's intensity lands in your 8th house. This is Scorpio's home turf, the house of intimacy, shared finances, secrets, and transformation. That's intense. With Venus and retrograde Mercury and a potent new moon, all heating up this area, your assignment is to face the deepest entanglements in your life head on. That volatile Mars-Uranus opposition on the 4th of November could trigger a sudden explosive argument over loans, taxes, or a secret in a close relationship. The energy demands a reckoning with debt, both financial and emotional. Up next is Taurus ascendant. For you, the storm is hitting your 7th house of one-on-one relationships. This means the most important partnerships are in the spotlight. The full moon in your sign on the 5th of November is a personal climax, bringing a powerful moment of release and forcing you to ask what you truly value. Then Venus, Mercury, and the new moon all move through Scorpio in your 7th house, demanding total honesty and trust. Any relationship that isn't built on a foundation will feel the pressure. That explosive Mars and Uranus opposition on the 4th of November could trigger shocking breakups or an end of a business contract. Scorpio energy exposes what's hidden, so the Venus-Pluto square on the 7th could bring about unspoken power struggles of jealousy. Scorpio energy exposes what's hidden. It's destabilizing, but it's also a necessary clearing. However, this transit isn't just about endings. The new moon on the 19th of November is a prime opportunity to forge deep, incredibly soul-level partnerships or take an existing one to a new, authentic level. You are learning what you truly need from a partner, especially as Uranus re-enters your sign, demanding radical authenticity from you. This month is a hard reset for your relational life. Next up, we have Gemini rising. For you, November's planetary drama is shaking up your 6th house of daily routines, work, health, and service. Get ready for a complete overhaul of your day-to-day life. That Mars-Uranus opposition on November the 4th is a direct hit, pitting Mars in your relationship house against Uranus in your sign. An explosive confrontation with your partner or colleague could completely disrupt your work life, with your ruler Mercury going retrograde on the 9th of November. First in your relationship sector, and then in your work sector. You'll be deeply reviewing contracts, collaborations, and daily processes. The intense Scorpio energy here, including the new moon on the 19th of November, is here to purge any habits that are draining your power. This could manifest as sudden health issues that force you to pay attention to your body, or a dramatic shift in your work environment. A job you've been tolerating could come to an abrupt end. The universe is making you ask, is the work I do every day truly meaningful? This is the perfect energy to initiate a powerful new wellness routine. Find a new job that feels more like a calling. It's time to eliminate the toxic clutter from your daily life and build routines that empower you from the inside out. For you, Cancer, November's intense Scorpio energy is igniting your 5th house of creativity, romance, pleasure, and self-expression. This is your arena of joy, and it's about to undergo a profound death and rebirth. With Venus, Mercury retrograde, and the new moon lighting up this house, you're being pushed to discover what you truly desire. With Jupiter going stationary retrograde in your sign on the 11th of November, this is a deeply personal journey of rediscovering what brings you faith and joy. In your romantic life, this can bring fated events. A casual fling could either end suddenly or undergo an influence of the Venus-Pluto square on the 7th of November. Transform a deeply intense soul-bearing connection with a bit of power dynamics. If you've been feeling uninspired, the new moon on the 19th of November can trigger a massive creative breakthrough by forcing you to dig deeper. The core lesson is about being authentic and self-expression. This month demands you to stop seeking validation and start creating and loving from a place of raw, unapologetic truth. It's time to let a passion project or a lukewarm romance die so a truer, more powerful form of joy can be born. Leo rising, it's your turn. For you, November's cosmic storm is hitting the very foundation of your chart, the fourth house of home, family, roots, and emotional security. Prepare for a deep, private transformation. With a stellium of planets in Scorpio here, including the transformative new moon on the 19th of November, your sanctuary is being excavated. Family secrets or long buried emotional patterns come to the surface, demanding to be addressed. The tension is high early on as the Uranus-Mars opposition on the 4th of November could spark emotional arguments with friends that impact your personal life. Then the Venus-Pluto square on the 7th can bring power struggles with a partner to a boiling point right in your living room. This transit can literally mean a death and rebirth of your home life. You might move unexpectedly or experience a dramatic shift in your family dynamics. Scorpio's energy here is asking you to get honest about what truly makes you feel safe. Is your foundation solid? The universe is helping you to clear out the emotional basement to build a new sense of home, one that provides true soul-level security. Next we have Virgo rising. November's intense transits are electrifying your third house of communication, mindset, and immediate environment. The way you think and speak is about to be radically transformed. Scorpio energy doesn't like small talk, and Venus and the new moon and your ruling Mercury retrograde are here. Your communication is about to get deep and intensely honest. You might suddenly say the thing that's been left unsaid. Be wary of the 4th of November when the Mars-Uranus opposition creates a clash between your home life and your career, potentially leading to explosive news or arguments that change your perspective. Your relationship with siblings could undergo a major shift this month. With Mercury retrograde in your 4th and 3rd houses, you are reevaluating your foundations and how you communicate the truth. The new moon on the 19th of November is like a software update for your brain, purging old limiting beliefs. You may become obsessed with a new topic to study, something scorpionic like psychology or metaphysics. The conversations you have over the next 6 months are not just chatter, they are the key to your reinvention. Next we have Libra rising. For you, this powerhouse month lands in your second house of cash, resources, and most importantly, your self-worth. Your money and your security are up for renewal. Your ruler Venus starts the month in your sign. This quickly creates tension on the 2nd of November with the square to Jupiter, pulling you between personal desire and family needs. Then on the 6th of November, Venus dives into Scorpio and your second house, creating a seriousness about what is your value. The very next day, it squares Pluto, potentially triggering a power struggle or an obsession about money or a creative project. The full moon on the 5th of November in your 8th house brings a climax around a debt or shared resource, forcing a release. The main event is the concentration of your energy in the second house. The new moon on the 19th of November, opposed by Uranus, could bring a shocking financial shakeup, an unexpected bill, or an income stream drying up. Yes, it feels like destabilization, but it's also a purge. This is also an incredible time to attract new income that aligns with your purpose. Because the second house is also tied to self-worth, this is your permission to stop measuring your value by your bank account and build a new foundation around self-sufficiency, authenticity, and something that comes from within. Now the main event, Scorpio ascendant. Alright Scorpio, this is all about you. The intense energy is in your sign, hitting your first house. This is the house of self, identity, and your personal brand. You are the main character. And the universe is handing you a blank script. First though, the old you has to exit the stage. Mars starts the month in your sign, trining Neptune on the 3rd, making your charisma and your allure utterly magnetic. Then Venus enters your sign on the 6th and the new moon on the 19th. This is a hard reboot to your entire personality. This is a full-on Phoenix moment. You're shedding an old skin. Don't be surprised if you feel an overwhelming urge to reinvent your style. These outer changes just mirror the massive internal shift. But it's not all easy. Mars leaves your sign on the 4th of November, immediately opposing Uranus. This could trigger an explosive financial event. The Venus-Pluto square on the 7th may bring out an obsessive or controlling tendency you need to face. And the Mercury grading back into your sign on the 18th forces a deep, sometimes confusing review of who you are. The new moon on the 19th is your new beginning to its highest order. Let go of the old you. This is a profound reinvention. Don't flinch from the intensity. You were built for this. It's your rebirth for Scorpio rise. Next up, we have Sagittarius rising. For you, November Scorpio energy is lurking in your 12th house. This is the most mystical part of your chart. Your subconscious mind, dreams, secrets, and self-sabotage. The universe is scheduling a deep spiritual cleanse. Everything you've swept under the psychological rug is about to be revealed, so it can finally be healed. The month kicks off in high gear for you on the 4th of November when Mars enters your sign, but it immediately opposes Uranus in your 6th house of work and health. This can bring a sudden rebellious urge to quit your job or break free from a draining routine. Then your ruler Jupiter stations retrograde on the 11th, pulling your focus inwards. To top it off, Mercury stations retrograde in your sign on the 9th. This is a huge period of personal revision. The Scorpio placements in your 12th house signal the end of a major life chapter. You release an internal burden, a deep-seated fear or secret guilt. The new moon on the 19th of November is a quiet, powerful seed planted in the dark. The best way to get through it? Solitude. Make time for meditation and journaling. Your intuition will be screaming loudly. Trust the solution, Sagittarius. It's clearing the path for your next adventure. Alright, Capricorn rising, it's your turn. For you, this intense month is lighting up your 11th house, the zone of friendship, social networks, and your biggest hopes for the future. Get ready for a major transformation in your social life and your life's vision. Scorpio energy is demanding authenticity, and with Venus, Mercury retrograde, and a new moon here, you're going to see your friendships with brutal clarity. The Venus-Pluto square on the 7th of November could bring secrets or weird power dynamics in friendship groups to the surface. Any superficial connection is likely to implode. The new moon on the 19th of November acts like a friend filter, showing you who's really on your team. While some friends might get the boot, this is also amazing for forging powerful new alliances. This house also rules your dreams for the future. The Scorpio new moon demands that your goals have meaning. If you've been chasing a dream that your soul isn't into anymore, this transit might bring out an event that makes you drop it, especially with the shocking opposition from Uranus in your 5th house of creativity and joy. Reevaluate your tribe and your dreams, Capricorn. The drama in your social life right now is directly clearing the path for a future that is deeply and truly yours. Now for you, Aquarius rising. November Scorpio transits are hitting the absolute peak of your chart for your 10th house, the house of career, public reputation, and legacy. An intense cluster of planets here signal a massive pivot in your professional life. Get ready for a total death and rebirth in your public identity. With the volatile Venus-Pluto square on the 7th of November hitting your 1st and 10th house, you might have a dramatic showdown with a boss or an authority figure that changes everything. Workplace secrets could be exposed, rewriting the entire professional landscape. The Uranus-Mars opposition on the 4th of November is also a major blast to your public life. A rebellious action could have explosive consequences for your reputation. A role that once defined you could suddenly end. It might feel like a crisis, but it's a cosmic course correction. The new moon on the 19th of November is a phenomenal new start, famous for dropping a major new career opportunity into your lap, but its opposition to Uranus means it could come in a shocking way or demanding a break free from the past. How the world sees you is about to change. This is a call to align your ambitions with your deepest truth and build legacy that actually matters to you. So now let's talk about Pisces rising. For you, November's intense Scorpio energy is happening in your 9th house. This is the house of high meaning, long distance travel, philosophy, your entire belief system. This month is set to trigger a crisis and rebirth in your entire worldview. On the 3rd of November, Mars in your 9th house trines Neptune in your 1st, giving you a magnetic desire to explore and expand your mind. Then on the 4th of November, Mars opposes Uranus, which could trigger a sudden crisis of faith or an explosive argument about belief. With Venus, Mercury retrograde, and a new moon all in the 9th house, you may have a sudden realization that something you've believed your whole life is shattered by a new experience. It can be disorientating, but you're not losing faith. You're being forced to find deeper and authentic meaning. This could show up as a powerful travel or educational experience. The new moon on the 19th of November is your chance to set intentions for a new course or study, a pilgrimage, or publishing your work. Your search for knowledge is becoming a search for wisdom. Embrace the journey into the unknown, Pisces. The truth here will set you free. So there you have it. November 2025 is a pressure washer. A story of conflict and connection, breaking down and breaking through. It's not just something vague. It's a direct force demanding you to face your shadows and reclaim your power. For each rising sign, it represents a profound reset in a unique area of your life. These are planetary energies slamming the door shut, only to shove it in the path that your soul is trying to find. The best way to handle it is to surrender. Surrender to what's ending. Trust whatever falls away is making room for something far more real and powerful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this forecast. Now I want to hear from you. Which rising sign are you? How are you preparing for the energies of November? Share your stories in the comments. We are all here to learn from each other. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next deep dive. Until then, be brave, trust the process, and embrace the transformation.